Hello you amazing beautiful people and welcome back to another first time reaction video. I'll be honest, before we even jump into this one, I kind of thought that we were gonna start moving away from the tornado videos. I was like, I feel like the interest is maybe dropping off, maybe you guys aren't as excited for these as you used to be, and then all of a sudden the last one comes out and that one does even better than the previous ones, and it seems like the interest is picked up again, and I don't know what's happened. It's been like a resurgence. All of you have come out of nowhere. These videos have just started blowing up, and yeah, I'm hitting my mic. I'm so excited. I just want to say a massive thank you to the support these are getting. This is never, ever a rabbit hole I thought I would fall down. Ever. I never thought I'd do a random reaction to a tornado video that a few people recommended, and that would become something that we regularly do. I never thought they would get this many subscribers and this much support. I never thought it. I'm really surprised, and I'm very, very grateful. And these videos literally started because the whole point in this channel was like to look at cultures and music and stuff from all over the world, and a lot of people telling me to check out weather, and then we've got a big American audience, so people like check out American weather, and that led us to tornadoes, and here we are. And I do want to say a huge thank you ever so much for your support. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for all the recommendations, and I'm really glad you guys are enjoying the videos, even though half of them break my heart. It's been incredible learning about something so beautiful and terrifying at the same time, like tornadoes. As someone who watched the Twister movie when I was way younger, I've always been fascinated by the idea of them, and I've always just kind of thought it was like this thing that only existed in Hollywood. And again, I don't mean like I'm a conspiracy theorist, I just meant I never thought of anything outside of a movie when it came to a tornado. And going down this rabbit hole, it's been very eye-opening, and the science behind it's been incredible. And a lot of you have been telling me that I should check out more from Swiggle Studios. This seems to be heavily recommended. And when you guys told me that I should check out Joplin, let me know which the correct way to pronounce it. I'm sure we'll find out in this video. Everyone said this is one of the best videos on YouTube for it. It's quite long, so buckle up. It's going to be a long reaction, but you all asked me to react to this, and the last Swiggle Studios video we did was amazing, so I'm excited to react to this. I have no doubt in my mind this is going to be devastating to watch. Every single video I've watched so far has been difficult, so let's buckle up for a ride here. Please support these videos by liking and subscribing. Every reaction I ever pick on these videos comes from one of you in the comment section. I click filter by subscribers only. Whichever comment gets the most likes, that's what I react to. It's that simple. So subscribe, leave your recommendations, let me know what you want next. And without more talking from me, let's jump into my first time ever reaction to the worst tornado disaster. Also, I just want to say a huge shout out to Swiggle Studios. Link to their video in the description. The worst tornado disaster in 70 years, the Joplin tornado.
Imagine hanging out with friends and family at a graduation party on a warm day in late spring. Jamie and his family were doing just that in Joplin, Missouri on May 22nd, 2011.
Okay.
Everything was going well. The conversation was light, the sun was shining, but suddenly the group noticed extremely dark skies to the west.
Kind of reminds me of a Y-Files video. Any of you guys watch the Y-Files channel? Really cool channel.
At first they weren't too worried. It was springtime and afternoon thunderstorms were quite common in southern Missouri, but the darkness continued to get closer and closer and closer. The birds went silent and the wind began to pick up. Jamie grabbed an old camera and began filming the eerie scene.
Gosh, it looks so weird.
Comes the hail. Comes the hail.
Doesn't it? Look how scary that looks. It's like completely pitch black. Looks like I have a horror movie. It actually does.
But the sky continued to get darker and darker, and the winds got even stronger.
My gosh, is this
Realizing
real?
that him and his family could be in a dangerous
It's like
situation.
pitch black. Is it daytime
Jamie
when this
advised
is
them
going
to
on?
get inside. The family gathered in the lowest
Is
part
this
of
the
the
day?
house as Jamie continued
What
to
time
film.
is it right now?
Suddenly, a freight train-like noise could be heard approaching outside, slowly getting louder and louder. The home began to shake and glass could be heard breaking upstairs. But the family stayed calm, stayed low, and as quickly as it started, it was over. Jamie and his family had just encountered a mile-wide EF5 tornado. But luckily for them, their house was on the very edge of the tornado, not quite within the direct path. After the event, Jamie filmed the destruction. While the second story of his home had an entire wall missing, the house was overall intact. However, they were lucky, as the same could not be said about their next door neighbors. The neighbor's house right across the street had been completely destroyed. In fact, it was one of over 7,000 houses that were destroyed in Joplin, Missouri on that Sunday. Every year, the U.S. sees about...
How come every single one of these freaking videos that we react to gets worse? I'm not even joking at this point. I swear, I sit in this chair and it's like we're checking out the worst tornado disaster in history. Then I sit down again and we're checking out the worst tornado disaster. How many worst tornado disasters are there? And how come they keep getting worse? This is insane. That is crazy. An F5 mile long.
Most of these twisters, about 80%, are very weak. Violent tornadoes.
Gosh, they go all over America. Wow.
Those EF2
Even
through
Chicago gets
EF4
tornadoes?
make up about 19% of all tornadoes. But they're not the worst type of tornado. That goes to the ultra rare, ultra dangerous EF5, the strongest tornado possible. A wall of death that destroys everything in its path. These monsters can be over 2 miles wide with wind speeds well over 200 miles per hour. Thankfully though, most of these massive deadly monsters occur over open plains or cornfields. However, every once in a while, they may strike a small town, claiming dozens of lives. And on an even rarer occasion, we have what is often referred to as the tornado worst case scenario, an EF5 striking a highly populated city. There are only a handful of incidents, but the worst in recent memory is the May 22nd, 2011 Joplin, Missouri EF5. Today we're doing an in-depth, detailed video about the event. We'll be covering the build-up, the arrival, the victims, the aftermath, and the recovery.
I want to say a huge shout out to Swiggle Studios. We're going to be reacting to their videos today, but they do loads of videos like this. They're constantly getting recommended all the time to me now. I haven't watched any of the other videos before people start like worrying, like, Luke, we want you to react to them. Don't worry. If you guys want me to check out more of their videos, we will. I haven't watched any of them. If I do end up watching any in my own time, I'll make sure they're not tornado related, and I'll let you know exactly which ones. I think they did one on Japan. I'm actually really curious about as well. So go check out their channel. If you like videos like this, go support
them. We will also be covering obscure lore. And of course, we'll be discussing remnants that still remain to this day. This is the Swiggle Studios Joplin EF5 documentary. Days before the Joplin EF5 on May 20th, the signs of a potential tornado outbreak over the Central Plains were observed by the Storm Prediction Center. When we look at their Day 3 conventional outlook, that would be May 22nd, the day of the event, that was posted on May 20th, we can see a 30% chance of severe weather within any area in the shaded red region. This, of course, includes Joplin. The Storm Prediction Center stated this.
30%?
There's a slight risk of severe thunderstorms Sunday from the southern plains to the middle Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee valleys by Sunday. Dew guidance is suggestive that moderate to strong destabilization will occur over a rather broad area from the southern plains into the Ohio Valley and adjacent.
Random question here. So, the UK weather system and forecast, when we see a percentage, that's not a percentage of rain. That's a, it's a weird one. I only figured this out like a couple of years ago. Let's say you've got this circle, right? And this circle represents a city. Let's call this city the city. Now, the city gets a weather forecast that says 30% chance of rain. They don't mean that the entire city has a 30% chance of rain. They mean that 30% of rain will fall in a 30% region of that city. So if you live in that city, they're saying 30% rain is going to cover 100% radius. That's what that actually means. Which I always thought it meant the entire city has a 30% chance, but it doesn't. Is it the same in America, or is it different?
Portions of the Mississippi and Tennessee valleys. This is expected to allow the development of considerable thunderstorm activity, including isolated supercells, a couple of which may be capable of producing tornadoes. The next day on May 21st, one day before the Joplin EF5, the Storm Prediction Center expanded their slight risk area, and this time they noticed the first signs of a potentially dangerous situation in southern Missouri. The Storm Prediction Center stated this: an axis of stronger destabilization ahead of a weak southward trailing surface front into the lower Missouri Valley and ahead of a dry line across the southeastern plains is expected to be the focus for highly severe probabilities Sunday. However, the Storm Prediction Center predicted a greater tornadic threat further north in eastern Iowa, Illinois, and southern Wisconsin. Finally, on the morning of May 22nd, the day of the Joplin tornado, the Storm Prediction Center issued this, a probabilistic tornado graphic showing a 5% chance of a significant tornado throughout the central U.S.
See, it just seems so
Joplin
low.
was right in the center. But this was...
So, like, does this graph mean that if you have 5% chance? I guess it means both in a way. Or does it mean that in that 100% region, there will be a tornado, but it will only affect 5% in that region? Like, is that what it means? So it's like, there's definitely going to be a tornado. We don't know when.
Only the beginning. Just a few hours later, the Storm Prediction Center upgraded the tornado probability map, increasing the probability to 10%, with Joplin still near the center.
That seems like a low amount though, right?
Seemed to be up near Illinois. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center believed the main threat to Joplin and southern Missouri was hail. But hail wouldn't be the main threat. Early in the afternoon on May 22nd, several isolated supercells began to erupt over Oklahoma and Kansas. The National Weather Service issued a tornado watch at 1:30 p.m. that included a swath of counties in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Missouri. This included Jasper County and Joplin. At this time in Joplin, it was graduation Sunday, a time of celebration for the class of 2011. Many had extended family who had traveled from far away to Joplin for the commencement and graduation parties. Anyone in the early afternoon in Joplin who was either driving or near radio likely heard the dreaded EAS alert as a tornado watch had been issued for their area. This was likely the very first time any...
What does that sound like, by the way? Like the EAS alert? Is that like a mobile phone one, a radio one? Is it like a big alarm that goes out in your city?
Anyone in Joplin knew they were under any sort of threat. But again, it was tornado season. Tornado watches are not that uncommon in southern Missouri, so it's likely that most didn't pay much attention. As the afternoon rolled on...
That was weird. If you saw me just look over there for a second, it's because I just saw like a shadow in the corner of my eye, and I just looked, and there's nothing. It's whoa, weird. I play Spider or something?
Several more supercells erupted over Oklahoma, and they were moving northeast towards southern Missouri. Finally, around 5 p.m., one particular supercell to the west was rapidly strengthening. The skies to the west were getting increasingly darker, and the residents of Joplin began to take notice. The National Weather Service saw signs of rotation within the supercell and issued the very first tornado warning for northeastern Joplin and the surrounding area at 5:09 p.m. Around this time, the civil defense sirens were activated for approximately 3 minutes, and an NBC affiliate station located within Joplin began live coverage of the reported tornado rotation.
We are continuing to see where now the National Weather Service is reporting that it may possibly...
Can you hear that? There's like a noise. Is that like hail on the building?
Possibly be just a funnel cloud, not an actual tornado on the
noise?
ground. They are working very rapidly to try and confirm anything that they...
Do not try to outrun a tornado in a vehicle. You guys told me this. That's like actually one of the worst things. It must be so hard to fight that urge. Because if I saw one coming to me, that would be my #1 thing. In a car, fuck out of here.
They can at this point in time. Normally, we would try and take a look outside with our weather camera. However, it is just so rain-socked at this point in time. Yes. We really can't see. Oh, there. Wow. Look at that shot.
Yep, there's a look to the northwest of us.
Wow.
We are in western Joplin, so that's looking to the northwest, as we mentioned before.
At this time, the Weather Channel also began live coverage of the tornado warning over the Kansas-Missouri border.
For the southeast corner of Kansas, this has produced a funnel cloud. Getting reports of that now. Baseball and softball size hail, and our great tornado hunt team out in this area this afternoon. Danielle?
The Weather Channel's own legendary meteorologist, Mike Betez, was actually located just outside of Joplin tracking the storm.
Yeah, we're right on that storm that you were just mentioning there as we work our way over the state line from Kansas into Missouri near Joplin. Tons of rain, a lot of hail. We had some golf ball sized hail that we've been pelted with as we try to race eastbound.
Is the tornado there?
Get ahead of it and then dive south. A lot of rotation that we noticed in a rotating wall cloud had passed over us near Columbus, Kansas.
At 5:17,
has there been like a touchdown at this point, or what? Like, is it just a storm? What are they chasing?
Another tornado warning was issued. This time, including the entire city of Joplin. After this warning, the sirens did not go off right away. 17 minutes later, at approximately 5:34, the initial phases of the tornado formed near West 32nd Street in southwestern Joplin. Several storm spotters in the area discovered that the tornado had a dangerous multi-vortex structure, almost like several tentacles dropping beneath the cloud base.
This is something that we've already learned about in other videos, the multi-vortex, this being one of the most dangerous tornado signs.
Similar to the dead man walking appearance of the 1997 Jarrell EF5. Ryan Carr happened to be driving when he captured the initial tornado formation on camera.
They
he
rapidly
pulled over
grow,
and began filming.
I get ones like this.
I don't know if it's gonna touch. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Where am I looking?
There it is. Oh, I don't know if you saw that.
We're in the middle, that little
Holy
bit.
crap. I hope this is taking awesome video of that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can see it a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
Oh jeez, it got big quick.
That is a tornado, people. That is a tornado, and I'm getting it on camera. I'm getting this cat crap on camera.
This cat
crap. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
Gosh, look how big it is. It's like the whole sky's coming down.
Keep me safe. Keep me safe, Lord. Keep me safe.
Did you see how dark it got? Why? Why did it get so dark so quick? It's like nighttime. What is the time when this here? Didn't they say it was like graduation when this was happening? It couldn't have been that late. That is like one of the most rapidly growing touchdowns we've seen on this channel so far. It like touches down, just opens up.
The tornado organized quickly, going from a multi-vortex cone tornado to a wedge in only a few seconds.
It did. It got
Joplin's
big
tornado
so
nightmare
quick.
had officially begun.
That was crazy.
While still in its initial weak phases, the tornado did cause damage along West 32nd Street. Mobile homes were destroyed and the tops of trees were blown off. The very first signs of damage can be seen via Google Earth. The satellite imagery shows a few downed trees just south of 32nd Street. You can also see the sporadic nature of the multi-vortex.
What's that random blue-green thing up the top there? Is that a pond or a swimming pool or something like that? That looks like quite a big building.
Creating strange looping patterns in the forest. The first victims of the tornado can be seen on South Ashwood Avenue and other subdivisions nearby. While still relatively weak.
Is that something that can happen? Can a tornado lift and touch down? Like, can it do that?
At this point, likely an EF2 or low-grade EF3, the tornado was quickly gaining strength and size, and many in Joplin were not even aware of the threat. It had been nearly 25 minutes since the tornado sirens last sounded, so many in Joplin had already left their shelters and returned to whatever they were doing. Now, when it comes to cliche tornadoes, we tend to think of picturesque cones that can easily be observed from a distance. This tornado in Albion, Illinois in 1990 is a classic example of that. This is what the general public thinks a tornado should look like.
Yeah,
the Wizard of Oz tornado, if you will. And sometimes they do look like this. Like this right here is a storm chaser's dream. However, the Joplin EF5 was not a typical tornado. It was a rain wrap.
Do they most of the time look like that? Or do they most of the time just look like this? Like, for example, me and Novice, if I was taken around with some storm chasers, which I've had a few people reach out and say they'd like they want to take me around, which by the way, I'm more game than you think I am. Like, I'd have to, if I'm ever gonna do something like that though, it would have to be 100% safe. Like, it would have to be because I got kids. Like, I can't be putting myself in any kind of dangerous situation, so I want to be as far away from one as possible. But it'd be cool to see one, you know, as close as I can get whilst maintaining safety. But yeah, a few of you have like pinned me and gone like, hey man, like, which by the way I appreciate the offers. It's sweet because whenever we do college football videos or anything like that, I always get so many of you reaching out to me and like with like so many sweet like offers and stuff. You guys are awesome, love you guys. But anyway, if I was there a novice and I was looking, would I just be, then they'd go, it's touchdown, would I be like, it is? It's kind of like a mess of clouds, or would I be able to tell?
Wedge. One of the most dangerous tornadoes one could ever encounter. Night or nocturnal tornadoes are incredibly deadly because you simply cannot see them. Well, the same can be said about rain-wrapped tornadoes. They almost just look like a dark cloud on the ground.
They do. Is that a tornado?
This is the only sign of a tornado the people in Joplin observe. And honestly, if you don't know what you're looking for, this just looks like a terrible rainstorm. The hidden tornado continues to move to the east, increasing in size and strength, destroying homes in its path.
It doesn't look like anything.
4 minutes after the tornado had formed, the city of Joplin finally activated the sirens once more. Around this time, the NBC affiliate went live again.
Could reach Europe by
From the KSN Storm Center, this is a severe weather alert.
Good evening. We've got some information on this storm. Let's go ahead and go to the Freeman First Alert Doppler radar. Galena is reporting, trained weather spotters in Galena are reporting now sightings of funnel clouds. Caitlin, you were telling me about that just a moment ago.
Now
I gotta say, this is utterly terrifying. The idea of it just being a cloud. Like, is that picture that we just saw a second ago, that video, that did not look like anything. It looked like nothing. No, it's just a cloud in the fucking sky. It's terrifying.
By KSN is very interesting to watch and is honestly one of the most frightening pieces of.
Is that it? Again, it's just like a fucking cloud.
During the live coverage, when they switch over to the tower cam, you can actually see the tornado shrouded by rain. But it is hidden. It's hard to notice, especially if you're not really looking for it. But there it is, a killer behind a veil of rain. Take a look at the reactions from the meteorologist covering the event. At first, they don't quite see the tornado, but when they finally notice it, it shocks them.
But we do have National Weather Service
wow.
personnel stating that Galena has a public report of a funnel cloud. Public report meaning that one of their train spotters hasn't seen it, but there's our tower cam.
And that would appear to be a power flash. That could be from a lightning strike, but that is the portion of the storm that we have been concerned.
Gosh, it's moving quick. Is this fast forwarded or anything? It's quick, this one.
Tornado sirens once again.
Tornado sirens once again going off in Joplin. Those are definitely power flashes that we are seeing on the ground. We are continuing to follow this at this point in time. Caitlin, I'm going to let you take over for a minute.
Yeah, Jeremiah, right now it does look like there is a tornado on the ground in the southern portions of Joplin, just to the south of our station here. It is taking out those power lines. You can see those flashes on there. Yeah, everybody, if you live in southern Jasper, northern Newton,
It's like a movie. It is, isn't it? It's like a fucking movie. It's weird. It's well weird. It's scary, man. It's scary. I constantly have to remind myself like that this is real. That people like me, you guys were there, saw this in your town, coming towards you.
Yes, please.
right now.
Please
I am telling you to take cover
right now.
But you can definitely hear the panic in their voices. Remember, there was only a small likelihood for tornadoes. Most experts, including the meteorologist shown here, were not expecting a massive wedge tornado, especially one that formed out of nowhere.
Continue to take cover from this storm. We can see that tornado on the ground from our tower cam. We are continuing to track that.
In this point of the coverage, you can really understand what a rain-wrapped tornado looks like.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, look at that. You can't see anything.
No.
Dangerous situation at this point in time.
Meanwhile, the commencement address for the Joplin class of 2011 had recently concluded. One member of the class was 18-year-old aspiring YouTuber Will Norton.
Oh, no.
Will was a charismatic and popular student at Joplin High School, personality traits that can easily be seen on his YouTube channel.
Oh, no,
After the graduation ceremony, Will Norton was driving home with his father, Mark Norton, in their Hummer SUV. They were only a few minutes behind his Aunt Tracy and his sister, Sarah. At this point, the tornado was at about an EF3 strength, crossing near Iron Gates Road. Once Tracy and Sarah made it back to their house, they could hear the tornado sirens wail across the city, and they noticed just how grim the western sky looked. But they couldn't see the tornado as it was indeed rain-wrapped. Sarah was understandably worried.
These rain-wrapped tornadoes are awful. They are utterly awful. They are monsters. You can't see anything coming to you. Nothing. It's invisible. An invisible freaking monster in the sky.
About her brother and her father, Mark. Around this time, she received a call from Mark asking her to open the garage door. Only a few moments later, Sarah could hear chaotic sounds coming from her phone. Sarah stated this: "He was telling my brother, pull over, pull over. I heard the tornado whipping them around. I had a feeling that they were flipping around in the air. It was just really scary." Will and his father Mark were heading down South Shefferdecker Avenue approximately here when the tornado struck their vehicle, flipping it into the ditch. Will's seatbelt ripped and he was sucked from the seat through the sunroof. Mark remained in the vehicle but was severely injured. After the tornado had passed, Mark was taken to a nearby hospital and gave details on what happened. Will, however, was nowhere to be found. Search parties were organized, and it wouldn't be until a few days later that he was discovered in a body of water right next to the road where the vehicle flipped. This body of water right here. It is believed that Will Norton was the first victim of the Joplin EF5. This photo of Will with his diploma was taken only an hour before he passed away. Will may have been the first fatality in the disaster, but unfortunately,
it's just awful. Can you imagine what that must have been like as a parent? Like, it's the best day ever. Holding your diploma, your graduation ceremony, smiling and happy. A great day. You're there with your dad, you get in a car, you drive home. And then a horror movie takes over your life. It's a horrible story, man. It's horrible.
Unfortunately, he wouldn't nearly be the last. The tornado continued to head east through Joplin, tearing through several more neighborhoods. The next victims of the tornado would be Glenn and Lori Holland on South Oliver Avenue. Glenn was an avid shotgun shooter who was very well known within the community. He would often post on shotgun forums. He was also an Air Force veteran. Just to the east of the Holland House was the Joplin Elk Lodge. Within the Elk Lodge, 4 additional fatalities occurred. After the event, several other Elk Lodges within the area traveled to Missouri to help clean up the destruction and rebuild. But just to the east of the Elk Lodge was the St. John's Medical Center, a large hospital, and the tornado was heading straight towards it. The staff at St. John's had been alerted of the approaching threat. Nurse Kevin Kepley was on the 7th and top floor of the St. John's Medical Center as the tornado hit. Kepley stated this: "It was like it was midnight," he said. "So we started taking cover and the windows busted and debris was flying. There were 9 of us in a 2x2 room with the patient trying to keep him safe." Hospital security footage shows the dramatic impact the tornado had inside the hospital. Now, when the tornado struck,
These people had like little to no warning, couldn't even see it coming. And it was moving so quickly that within the space of, what was that, 30-second clip? It goes from looking like nothing to removing buildings from existence. In 30 seconds, I could go from just talking to you guys right now to this entire house being gone. It's not just the most terrifying thing you've ever heard. A hospital. A freaking hospital.
St. John's Medical Center. It was likely at a high-end EF4 strength, not quite an EF5, but it was still strong enough to twist the foundation several inches of this tower right here. There were about 200 people inside the hospital at the time of the tornado, and 5 from within the building would lose their lives. The 5 fatalities were all caused by their ventilators deactivating due to a power failure. Since the hospital had been destroyed, and you obviously need a hospital in a tragic natural disaster, a makeshift tent hospital was installed right here to the east after the tornado. Since most of the victims of the tornado would need to be airlifted to other surrounding hospitals, 2 helipads were quickly installed near the tent. These helipads eventually were abandoned, and still remain a remnant from the disaster to this day. In the end, St. John's Medical Center was demolished and a memorial sits where it once stood. After the event, a new hospital, named Mercy, was built nearby. At around 5:42, the tornado was beginning to reach peak intensity, with wind speeds in excess.
It's not even at its strongest. This thing just blasted a hospital, killed 5 people, has taken lives on its way, and it's not even at its strongest point yet.
Of 200 miles per hour. Hundreds of homes near St. John Medical Center were completely destroyed.
We're just
A
halfway
specific
through
home
this
on
video.
South Connor Avenue claimed the life of 9-year-old Zachary Treadwell. His home, along with 6 others on that same block, were featured in ABC's Extreme Home Makeover only 5 months after the event. Very cool that ABC would do this for all these families. So far, the tornado had already claimed over 20 lives, but it was about to claim 20 more, all within a single location, the Greenbrier Nursing Home located at Gabby Street Boulevard. Peggy Wilson, one of the residents of the Greenbrier Nursing Home, described the scene as absolute chaos. The staff had heard reports of the wall of death rain-wrapped tornado heading towards them, and they ushered all the residents into a central hallway. Peggy Wilson stated this: "We heard the sound and we said, uh-oh, and at about that time, the ceiling fell on us. When it hit, it took everything down. Pipes, plaster, wood, the ceiling construction, everything. It was awful. Just the sound of it, and there you sit. What could you do? You certainly couldn't run away from it." The Greenbrier Nursing Home had the highest number of deaths of any location during the tornado. Today, all that remains is a dirt foundation and a parking lot. The tornado was now over a mile and a...
The before and after pictures are killing me, man. I apologize for my poor choice of words. You just see these buildings and then they're just gone. Just rubble, gone. Like, how many times have we seen this in this video? This is what was before, this is what's after. It's like the whole thing just get deleted. 20 people in a nursing home. A hospital and a fucking nursing home.
Half wide and near peak intensity, easily within the EF5 threshold. And unfortunately, it was in many ways just the beginning. Around 5:44, it crossed a main street where it took out several small businesses and claimed 2 lives at one of Joplin's Mexican restaurants. Unfortunately, coming up within the path of the tornado were even more residential homes, the Joplin High School and the Baptist Church. Within this area of homes, there were over 300 injuries as well as a dozen fatalities. Along this intersection of East 24th Street and Missouri Avenue, 10 individuals in 5 different homes all lost their lives. But just down the street was Joplin High School. Security cameras throughout the school showed the moment of impact.
It got the high school? This thing is terrifying. It is a wall of death. It leaves nothing behind. And you can't even see it coming. You're blinded by clouds. It's just this thing just walks towards you, and everything in its path is just destroyed. Everything, like a moving blender. Look, it looks like there's nothing even there. That's the scariest part. There's nothing there. What were you even looking at?
Thankfully, the school was empty at the time, so there were no fatalities at this location except for one in the parking lot. In some ways, it's a bit of a close call. Had the tornado occurred on a weekday or at an earlier time, these halls would have been filled with students. In fact, how fortunate was it that the graduation ceremonies of Joplin High School weren't actually held at the school? They were held 3 miles north at Missouri Southern State University. If they had held the graduation ceremony at the high school, people would still have been in the process of leaving the event.
I thought they were at the school. Oh, I thought they were. I thought that whole thing was at the school. Oh gosh, man, this is a hard watch, guys.
After graduation, you're sitting around, you're taking photos, you're talking to people.
You're not rushing
There would have
home.
definitely been a lot of people still there. But thankfully, it was just a close call. Just across the street from the high school was Harmony Heights Baptist Church. While no one was at the high school, unfortunately there was indeed a church service in process at Harmony Heights. Over 50 individuals within the church were seeking shelter on the floor, in some cases under the pews, when the tornado struck. The pastor described the scene as a freight train mixed with a jet engine. In the end, nothing remained of the church. Rumble surrounded the building. Of the 50 churchgoers, 3 would pass away. The tornado then continued into even more residential areas. Here at the intersection of Connecticut Avenue and East 20th lies a sprawling apartment complex that took a direct hit. Surprisingly, not many apartment buildings were actually hit by this tornado, but there was this specific one where 8 people lost their lives. It was now 5:45 and the tornado...
Am I the only... I can't be the only one that just looks at this terrified, right? I can't believe people live with this. I can't believe it's real. I really can't. No matter how many reactions I do, I can't believe it. Look at this. Look down there. Buildings completely intact, roads, houses, and you just zoom up, and it's like someone just wiped them. It looks like a bomb has gone off. Tornadoes have always been a part of America, right? Can you imagine what they must have been like 100 years ago or so, when there was no like infrastructure? The only reason I'm making that comparison is because I'm trying to like imagine like a like old school western towns must have just been blinked off the map with like a tornado, right? People and everything just gone, right? Because they wouldn't have been able to run. There wouldn't be shelters. Like, what is that? Are there any stories like that?
The tornado was at its peak width of 1¼ mile wide. Unfortunately, up ahead of its path was the heavily trafficked, very busy Rangeline Road.
Doesn't even seem like it's slowing down yet.
Joplin. This is where you had all your restaurants, all your shopping outlet malls. This in some ways was the busiest part of Joplin, and the tornado was heading straight towards it. Situated on Rangeline Road were a couple of storm chasers who were able to capture the rain-wrapped tornado heading towards them. Storm chaser Rich Hamill, along with 4 other storm chasers as part of the Silver Linings storm chasing tour, were stuck at a red light in front of a Payless shoe store approximately here. They were
So this is a storm chasing tour. So this would be the kind of thing that I'd end up doing if I went out there.
behind another Silver Linings storm chasing van that was communicating via walkie-talkie. As reports of the tornado began coming in, several members of the group began filming the ominous horizon.
We're going to keep going south. We're just going to get out of the way of this thing.
Oh, that would have been good if we were on a hill there. We would
That's the rotation. The compass just off to the southwest here.
Hey, Matty, can you show us the...
See, get this light to turn so I can get that.
Oh, so I just saw that big power flash. Whoa, straight through those trees.
The thing is, you don't know how close this is. It could be right there. It could be right on top of them. If those trees start moving, then what? You're stuck behind traffic on a road. Look at the thing, man! You can't see anything! It looks well close!
That was a big power flash. It could be lightning too.
Could be lightning, yeah. I need a
It's too low to be lightning.
The light's very, very low. Oh my god. No, that's power flashes.
Oh, that's
Lots of power flashes.
It's like power flash. We need to get out of this town.
Holy Jesus. Wow.
We gotta get our
Large. My goodness. We're in the firing line.
It's right there.
Oh.
Really, really bad for this town.
It is.
Oh my god.
Oh, look at the power flashes. That's 135. Oh, please. Lift. Lift for Christ's sake.
City and bloody pickup.
The traffic lights are off, so they lost power in the city now. Lift.
Oh my god.
All the street lights are
It's right there.
Where?
These videos have always captured my fascination, and I've talked about them several other times on this channel before, but they really do an excellent job of painting the horrific scene and terrifying vibe of an approaching tornado. They almost have like a clover.
They do. It's well weird. He's about to say it has a Cloverfield feel. It does. This is what I mean. When I do these reactions, I like the one thing I constantly say, and I don't know if it's annoying or what, is it doesn't seem real, and it's because to me it doesn't. It seems like a fucking movie. It does. It feels like Cloverfield. It feels like The Day After Tomorrow. It feels like a disaster movie. But this is real. There's a part of me that just can't comprehend that, and that's just the truth. But for you guys, this is just some of you watching who comment on my videos and say that you live in these areas. For you, this is normal. I can't imagine that. I really can't. It feels like a movie scene. It does. Am I the only one who feels like that?
Vibe to them. At first, they don't see the tornado. They only hear reports and see a dark wall of clouds.
Yeah.
But at one point of the video, the massive wedge appears, and they quickly come to terms with their current situation.
Right behind us. 4 o'clock.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh, shit.
That means it's past it.
You can see the rain wrapping them.
Freaking go, people.
Go, just go.
Oh, no.
All right, it's behind them.
Oh, good. Good God. This is bad, really bad.
Jesus.
It sounds like a freaking. It sounds like a Universal Studios ride, man. You got someone screaming down the radio, "Go, get the hell out of here!" Anyone who watches this that doesn't get like goosebumps or something, man, there's something wrong with you. These are people's lives. Oh my word. Oh God. Gosh, man. These videos get harder and harder to watch.
It's a monster, this.
Oh,
explosion.
Oh my god.
Power flash.
Oh, it is
monster,
right there.
man. I feel sick right now. Very sick.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, no.
Oh my god, this thing's massive.
Oh, there goes power. Oh, my foot.
You guys see it back there?
Yes. It's a monster
It's
to
right
wedge.
behind us. It's the 3.
Definitely some incredible footage, especially when you see the power start to go out in the buildings. Absolutely insane. Thankfully, they were
You literally saw the sign shut down as they drove past it. All the lights just shut off. You literally see it.
able to barely escape and get onto the interstate. By the way, this is what rangeline looked like before the tornado in the video, and this is the exact same area right afterwards. If they were there for only a couple minutes longer, they could have been seriously injured or worse. In fact, at one point in the video, one of the individuals in the group suggests potentially seeking shelter at the Home Depot situated here.
What about that Home Depot? Would that be a bad spot, or I don't know? That's all I see close by.
It's a good thing they didn't. As the tornado was approaching the businesses on Rangeline, Dennis Osborne was taking care of a few errands with one of his friends. While at Home Depot, Dennis saw the approaching storm, recognized the threat, and began helping as many people as he could. He ushered the people inside and told them to get to the back of the store. He then ran back outside into the parking lot to yell at people to get inside. Dozens of people who would have been caught out in the parking lot in the tornado, who were unaware of the approaching threat, were saved due to Osborne's warning. Unfortunately, Osborne himself didn't seek shelter in time. He sacrificed himself trying to save as many people as he could before the tornado hit. Osborne was a veteran and continues to be a legend. May he rest in peace. Overall,
what an amazing human being, man. What a wonderful human being. What an awesome person. One that we should all hope to be a bit like.
well, there were 6 fatalities at the Joplin Home Depot that day, most of them in the parking lot. Another tale of heroism occurred across the road at a nearby Pizza Hut. The manager, Christopher Lucas, herded 20 people inside the restaurant's walk-in freezer. Unfortunately, the door was not closing to the freezer, and one by one, people were essentially getting sucked out into the tornado. After 3 people had perished this way, Christopher grabbed a bungee cord, attached it to the inside of the door handle, and pulled with all his might to keep the door closed. He was being held onto by 2 other employees. Unfortunately, the tornado was too strong, and Christopher also got sucked into the tornado and perished. But his heroic action and his sacrifice for being the closest to the freezer door will never be forgotten by those 16 others who survived inside the freezer. A similar story occurred at AT&T, where a store employee, Cheryl Shan Miguel, died while protecting 10 people while holding a bathroom door closed.
What wonderful people, man. What incredible humans. I honestly cannot stop picturing that. The idea of sitting inside a walk-in freezer. I used to work in multiple places that had those big old walk-in freezers. And those big old doors, you'd think they'd be quite safe. I cannot imagine crouching with a bunch of other people in them and just watching people get sucked out of the door. And you're there with all these people and just... Can you imagine seeing that forever for the rest of your life? Can you imagine the fear? Thank the Lord, though, there's people like them who protect the people who need it.
The story of the Joplin tornado is full of heroic acts. Joplin is a Bible Belt city. This is a very Christian part of the country. So there's a lot of good people in Joplin doing sacrificial things. After the tornado tore through Rangeline Road, they headed toward the East Joplin Middle School, where security cameras again captured the carnage.
Oh. It's like you blink, something that was there is no longer there.
There was some good news though. The tornado was finally beginning to weaken, but it still continued to tear through many residential areas, claiming more lives in the process. At this point, it started shifting to the right to the southeast towards Interstate 44. Injuries. In fact, nobody, at least that I could find, died on the interstate during the event. After passing over the interstate, the tornado began to weaken rapidly, all the way down to an EF1. It tracked for a while over the countryside, but dissipated shortly after. The Joplin tornado nightmare was finally over. If there's one word to describe the residents of Joplin's reaction shortly after the tornado, that word is disbelief. They thought they were just going to encounter another typical afternoon thunderstorm. But no, their lives and their city would never be the same. One of the best reaction videos I could find shortly after the tornado comes from a video posted by Phaedra driving down Rangeline Road just after the event. She has local news on the radio, so we can also hear the media's immediate reaction, and she's actually driving the opposite direction of the Silver Linings tour.
Unbelievable scenario. Joplin has taken a direct hit from a tornado, and it appears the damage is unbelievable. The scope of the tornado is still unknown at this point, but we continue to monitor the situation and continue to try to get reports as fast as we possibly can. But once again, Rangeline Road, complete devastation. This is going to be a long recovery process for the city of Joplin as we build back from the rubble, and still waiting to hear possible injuries and the possible loss of life. But this is going to be a dangerous scenario. That's why we encourage you to stay off of the roads. Let emergency management do their job.
Are you recording?
Let them take care of what needs to be taken care of, because there are many people who are in desperate need of help at this hour.
What's interesting is they have no idea, absolutely no idea, how bad the situation actually is.
They don't. You can hear them on the news literally saying, we'll wait for reports of injuries or possible loss of life. How many people died? I'm exhausted. I am exhausted watching this. It's just horror. I can't help but put myself in the shoes of people there. It's so painful to watch.
In fact, they see some minor damage, like very light damage.
Yeah, that
and
street.
they make a big deal out of it because they have no idea what's coming.
That street doesn't look too bad.
We have heard reports of vehicles overturned, semis flipped over.
Oh my gosh!
Injuries on the interstate. It's safe to say, though.
Wow, we drove right into it. Oh my God! Look at where those bullets gone!
Soon, though, they realize a large part of the city had been completely destroyed.
IHOP is gone. Walgreens is gone. That's we were driving into it. We couldn't even see anything because it was so bad. Look over here. Look over there. I can't see. It's all flat.
You couldn't see anything. You couldn't see anything. You couldn't see fucking nothing. It's a wall of nothing. Just clouds, like a night sky. Some of the video was pitch black. It was literally nighttime 10 minutes before this video.
I'm recording the whole thing. You should see it. Tell her where Taco Hut used to be.
How do you even begin to help people?
Oh my gosh.
What do you do?
It is insane. What the cow? Oh my God. Oh my God. This is horrible. It's completely flattened over here. It's crazy.
How do you help people in this? Just get out and start yelling?
The Joplin tornado quickly went from local news to statewide news, all the way to national news, all within a few hours.
Our and St. John's all being hit. This is a major situation. We're going to...
Devastation in Joplin, Missouri on an almost unimaginable scale. Homes obliterated. Cars piled up like toys.
Jay Nixon has sent a search and rescue team to Joplin, where a tornado killed at least 89 people last night. Jennifer...
Every major news station sent journalists out to cover the damage. Now, since Mike Bettis happened to already be in the area during the tornado, the Weather Channel was extremely quick to go live and cover the event. Mike Bettis was located near St.
You can hear my dog just barking in the background. I don't know what to say, guys.
John's Medical Center, and for obvious reasons, was incredibly choked up after the event.
When you see what's happened here, Paul, I mean, take a look. I mean, it's everything. It's just completely demolished. I mean, homes are destroyed, families' lives have been turned upside down at this point. And People are just looking for their loved ones. They're looking for family members. If you take a look here at this neighborhood, all I can say is it looks very reminiscent of what we saw last month in, excuse me, in Tuscaloosa.
Mike, are you all right? You're seeing some just terrible things, I'm sure, and I know you were there just moments after the tornado hit.
Now remember, the 2011 super outbreak from less than a month ago was still on the minds of many. That was a tragic event that claimed over 360 lives. In fact, just a couple days before...
360 lives? There was a worse event? God, that image was horrible. Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really do try to hold it together as best I can in these videos, but it's so... It's hard. The whole town is gone. These poor people. These poor people, man.
The Joplin tornado, Reed Timmer himself was discussing the Dixie Alley super outbreak with Jay Leno on The Tonight Show. In the end, 75% of the city was affected in some way, with 25% being completely destroyed. 8,000 homes were damaged, with about half of them being completely destroyed. About 500 commercial buildings were destroyed as well. Overall, the cost of the tornado was $2.8 billion, about $3.8 billion in 2025. Overall, there were 158 direct fatalities, making it the deadliest tornado event since the Woodward, Oklahoma F5 in 1947, which had 181 deaths. On top of the 158 direct fatalities, there were several indirect fatalities. A lightning strike claimed the life of a man shortly after the tornado, and in the weeks after the event, 18 people suffered from a fungal infection known as mucormycosis.
Oh.
This specific type of fungus can be found in the soil, and it spreads in the air as little spores. So people, they were in a destroyed wasteland. Dirt was everywhere. There was no sanitation systems installed. They had all been destroyed. So people were at risk of catching this rare fungal disease.
You're telling me that at least 18 people survived that horrific event to then die of fungal infections? It's just a fucking nightmare.
They could have either breathed it in, or if they had open wounds, that soil could have gotten into that open wound. In the end, 5 people would lose their life in Joplin from this fungal infection. Following the disaster, Governor Jay Nixon declared a state of emergency for the city of Joplin and the surrounding areas. Missouri National Guard troops entered the city and began helping out with recovery and cleanup. One interesting piece of lore were the 2 elephants that were used to help remove debris during cleanup. A circus was scheduled to take place in Joplin that next week, and obviously they had to cancel, but they still wanted to help out in some way, so they used the 2 elephants to remove debris.
Oh, wow.
Cars, my goodness, what a mess they had to clean up.
There were actually people out there protesting the circus, saying you shouldn't be using the elephants for that, but then I think there were more people there saying we need all the help we can get, and they're trained.
Elephant says,
very
you
smart.
Pull that thing. Look
That's
how
amazing.
strong that elephant is.
President Obama visited Joplin and met with the survivors. In fact, 1 year later, in May of 2012, Obama gave the commencement address at the Joplin Class of 2012 graduation ceremony. Now, I'm not a political channel at all, but no matter your politics, I highly recommend listening to this commencement address. It's very well done and it's very moving. The butterfly has become a bit of a...
We need to get back to that point in the world where we can... like that. I'm not a political channel at all, but I highly recommend you listen to this. It's very moving. There should be no one that just turns their nose up at that and goes, Obama, I'm not doing it. And it's like, at the end of the day, that's not what it's about. Not about politics. And we need to be at that place again. I remember growing up and having people in my family constantly voting for different people. and they'd have arguments, but they still loved each other. We need to be back there.
A symbol for the city of Joplin. If you visit, you will see butterfly sculptures all over the place. And of course, this wouldn't be a proper Joplin documentary without mentioning the mythical butterfly angels. Many survivors of the tornado claim to have witnessed strange butterfly alien angel figures who either rescued various individuals in some way or ushered their souls up into heaven.
In this damaged building, Emily says she felt a calming presence.
I remember on the shoulder, a hand touched me like right here, and they told me everything was going to be okay. It's actually really weird, but ever since then, I'll be walking outside and a butterfly will come and land on me.
Actually land on you?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of these stories come specifically from children. In fact, apparently it was pretty common after the event for children in Joplin to draw these strange creatures at school or at home. Pretty weird. Now, obviously, the situation was incredibly traumatic, especially for a child. So,
I will say there is multiple like historical events, records in history, that after like awful things happen, children do stuff like this. It's kind of their way of emotionally coping with something that they otherwise can't comprehend. So it's not uncommon, but it could be something.
who knows exactly what kind of tricks a mind can play on someone who is going through something like that.
My
but
nose
still an
is just
interesting
running.
piece
I
of
do
lore.
apologize,
Let me know your
guys.
thoughts on these strange sightings. Well, that concludes the story of the infamous and horrific 2011.
I'm gonna pause for a second there because my camera just said it was running into issues. So just giving it a second to sort itself out.
Thoughts on these strange sightings. Well, that concludes the story of the infamous and horrific 2011 Joplin EF5 tornado, a truly worst case tornado scenario, and one that we hopefully will not see for a long time. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Also, huge, massive shout out to this wonderful human being, Swiggle Studios, for putting together this video. I'm gonna leave a link to their channel in the description. I'm gonna leave a link to this video. They make tons of stuff like this. I'm being recommended loads. The night Texas hit 140 degrees Fahrenheit, the Satan Storm video. I actually wanted to watch that. That's one that gets recommended. There's a few here. There's another channel called Sky Fury, seems to be recommended. The largest tornado outbreak in history, 2011 tornado superthing, 350 tornadoes in one day. Jeez. That's another one of the videos recommended by Swiggle. So yeah, maybe we'll check that one out. I do want to first apologize for getting quite emotional here. I try and hold it together, and I'm gonna do my best talking about it. It's difficult for me. I'm one of these people who constantly puts myself in other people's shoes. I believe that's like a really important thing to do as a person, that we should be able to just say like how would we feel, what would we do, and think about these people in these situations. And I think it's important to do that, so I always try and make sure I do. Always I think it's the best way that you can approach anything, because then you can feel for the people, you can have empathy for them. And so it's tough for me. Sometimes I try and switch it off when I'm watching videos. If I know it's going to be quite emotional, I try and like shut that out and not think about it. Every now and then it overwhelms me. As a married father of two, and hearing those stories, I'd be lying if I said it was hard for me to not put myself in the situation of all these parents and all these people going through something like that. And I just find it so sad and terrifying. These poor human beings, man. A graduation ceremony, something that should be so happy. 10 minutes later is horrible. I'm sorry. I started watching these videos because I thought it'd just be like cool and interesting, if I'm being honest. I thought I'd be like, whoa, look at this tornado, wow, look at that, that's crazy. I never thought it'd be like it has ended up becoming. I feel like it's important to do these reactions sometimes and check out these like terrifying moments of history for so many people and help spread it. And you know, these are real people. This is their story. This is what they went through. Or if a random British guy can hear this story, then the rest of the world can. And through that, more and more people can carry the memories of anyone who tragically didn't survive something as terrifying as this. I think that's quite important. I would never be able to imagine what something like that must be like. We've checked out a bunch of tornado videos, but the idea of a tornado of this magnitude, this size, this devastating, rolling through a city, and you can't even see it coming, is terrifying to me. So terrifying. I'll read some comments. Hearing the storm chasers freak out has got to be the scariest thing ever. And Jesus, the realization of those newscasters when they finally see the tornado, chills. Yeah, that one was chills. Mike Beats was emotional because he saw the deceased victims. It shocked him, and he still becomes emotional discussing that moment. Can you imagine looking down that street? My uncle survived Joplin. You can see his semi in a couple of survey photos. He survived a few tornadoes. He talked about the others, laugh and tell stories about them, not Joplin. He couldn't even take deliveries into or near Joplin. It really breaks my heart that the poor boy just graduated and had a future ahead of him. He was with his dad in that car. His sister was on the phone to them. The radio operator screaming, "Get out of there." Something straight out of a monster movie. A friend of mine was in the Pizza Hut cooler. His body was recovered in the middle of the range. His wife survived. Do you know how strong seatbelts are? The fact it ripped, it tells what kind of forces they're dealing with. Yeah, seatbelts are tested over and over and over and over again. They are literally supposed to be as fast as your car is going, deal with the full impact of your body. Joplin was one of the worst case scenario tornadoes. Incredibly powerful, touched down and went west to the city. Lifted just east of the city, hit many vulnerable places on a busy Sunday afternoon. And in your comment you didn't even mention was hidden by a rain cloud. One comment I don't even want to read. Oh God, I don't even want to read that one out loud. I'm going to read it out loud because I know some of you are going to want me to. And if I was watching a reaction video and someone said that, I would want to be given the option. If you want to skip ahead 20 seconds, go for it. I'll read it now. Psychologists theorize that these children actually saw their parents being swept away by the tornado. And their brains altered their memories to be less traumatic. I'm done with the video, guys. Gosh. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you want me to watch next. I don't want any of you worrying and thinking that we should do like less emotional stuff or anything going forward. I understand. I get it. I do. I've been doing reactions for a few years now. I get that people recommend videos like this because you guys want to see someone react with emotion. I imagine there's other reactors who watch this and they're just like, whoa, that's scary. And I get it. You want to see feelings. So I understand that you guys know I'm a bit emotional and you recommend the emotional ones, and I know it sucks. It's painful to watch these. It really is hard, but I understand. So let me know what we're watching next, and I don't want any of you worrying. There's no happy tornado video. So I don't want anyone to be like, we need to give Luke a happy one. It's fine. It's fine. I understand. I get it. I'll share. I imagine a lot of you watch my reactions because you feel the same way, and you want to see someone relate to. You want to relate to someone. You want to see someone emotional. I get it. I'll feel this pain with you guys. All right. You can hold my hand. I'll hold yours, and you can share these stories with me, and I'll listen. Thank you for watching. Oh gosh. That's it from me. I love all of you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for recommending. Have a good Saturday. And as always, my friends, you will see me in the next video.